Welcome to Workers, Resources, Soviet Republic. I am Rever, if you don't know that already. And we are going to do something a little bit exciting for me on this channel. My first video was a week after this game came out. And while we've played some live streams, that was the only map, 140 some episodes into it. But we need to get ready for a new map location. Now, really haven't even been into this screen other than when we started the last live stream, which was even probably 6 months ago. And Antonio had a suggestion for me for the Eastern Russia map, and I'm not sure what he's talking about. I have no Eastern Russia map in here, so Antonio, I'm pretty sure you'll watch this video. Please let me know what you're thinking, and if you guys want to do map suggestions, I would appreciate if you could give me a link to the Steam workshop. I mean, you don't have to. It's up to you guys. But if you just give me a name, I might not be able to find it too well unless I can search that exact name. So in any event, I picked out a few maps that I would consider playing. And let's just get into one. And I'm not sure how long it'll take to load up or if the game will crash or whatever. But let's just go into this first one, Tumen River, which is basically the North Korea. So let's go in. I haven't really done anything. We're just going to leave it on the default settings, right? Just to see what's what here. I'm not going to save whatever we do. Just want to go in there and look at these four maps, talk about my criteria. So the first criteria is if you guys are going to pick the map, it needs to be with a bit of a minimum vote, I guess you could say. Like, in other words, if I only get a couple votes, which is kind of all I'm really expecting, then I need to have a little bit of an overwhelming response towards one map or the other, or else I'll just pick what I want. And we'll have fun either way. Like, please don't be insulted if I don't pick your suggestion. All right, we might as well pause it, I guess. I don't think it makes too much difference. So, in other words, like, for example, if I get 10 votes and 4 or 5 of them aren't for a particular map, I'm just going to kind of pick. But if it's, sort of, I don't want to say overwhelming, but if there's, no, you have to do this one from 5 people out of 10, then we're going to do that map. And heck be damned. Now, when I picked these maps, what I did was I wanted to pick, and what I'm going to be looking for even now is I want to be able to do ships, and I want the ships to make sense. So when I looked at this map, that seems to be the case right off the bat, right? We got a nice river running right through the middle where we could do ships. Now, this might not be the best scenario, but I could picture maybe a town over here. All right, now do I see any cities? The other thing is I would really almost prefer like a non-populated map. So this one has some people. I may even come in and like get rid of all the structures. At that point, we have roads. Looks like we have, I'm not liking all the rail that's already set up in here. I'd really rather start with like a plain map. Let's just, for the sake of it, take a look at, we'll open this up. Oops. Let's make this big so we can see. So what do we have in the way of resources, right? So quite a few resources as far as the coal goes. So I don't see an extra challenge in that. I mean, it's, they are what they are. I mean, it's at some point, we're going to scout it out. And plenty of iron. Yeah, so I would kind of consider this too easy, and I don't like the fact that it's a populated map. I mean, again, nothing wrong. I like the big open plain. So as you guys vote, keep in mind that chances are there's not going to be an overwhelming vote. I kind of like the big open plains near the river, and we don't have to do quite so much leveling. Like, I could see a lot of city being built on these big flat plains. So that would be another thing I would be looking for. And I do, yeah. So I think that for me, this map is fine. I think I could have fun with it, but I sort of want to make sure there isn't a better option. So I don't like that it's populated. I do like that it's got a river right through the middle of it, but I'd also like kind of maybe a bigger river. And so yeah, let me let's get out of here. Quit the main menu. And then let's go to the next one. So this one is Lithuania, and James has been watching many of the videos. Now, again, I think this one's a populated map, and if it doesn't have too many people, I'm kind of okay with that. But like I said, it's all about a plus and minus. This was James's suggestion, and James has watched every single video. And I think he made this map himself, so thank you very much for contributing to the community. Yeah, like if this is the population that we're dealing with, then I'm okay with that. What is the population? Yeah, very, very few people. So now we can, of course, change that, right? Like to a certain degree, but yeah, like the only thing right now is that it looks like it'd be kind of hard to get shipping along this water channel. Let's take a look at the map itself. All right, I'm not really loving the roughness that looks like the tool was brought down on this thing. Looks like somebody drugged their tool across there. I mean, could this be smoothed out? I don't know. But yeah, what I'm not liking about this is I'd like a flat area near the water, right, where we could build a city. And we could build a city up here, but I'm not sure. I've never really used the boats. You know, like more like something like this, where I know we could place docks down without having to do too much leveling. Yeah, so that would be my only real complaint about this one. Now that city looks like it's off the map buildable area. Let's go take a look up. Other than that, it's got nice, you know, flattish areas. We could certainly expand and grow. And I could certainly get over, but you can see what I mean, like from a distance anyway. Some of the spots, yeah, it's definitely a big flat map. That's for sure. Yeah, I think I'd want something with a little more character. But see what I mean here? You can kind of almost, like that's, I don't know. It's just more of a looks thing than anything practical. And again, I'm not being critical. You know, just my own personal, like what I was looking for in our next playthrough. And please let me know if you have a certain thing. The only other thing is I was hoping to have some like mountains, not overkill mountains. I don't mind that this is generally flat. Yeah, that stone area is going to be a bit of a, certainly want to avoid that for leveling, huh? Yeah, so this is a fine map. Certainly if you wanted to get into it, but I'd like to get something where we could use like a few cable cars and stuff like that too. So I'd like to see something with a few more, you know, a few more mountains. Like this map is nice because it's got the river running through it. But then again, I don't like that it's so hilly right on the edges of the river where we might build. And I also don't, I mean, I guess it depends on where you're at and from, but I don't find this to be terribly realistic in the sense of usually there's delta regions and other rivers coming in. Now, who knows? I mean, but I don't know. Where I've seen a lot of times the river is very flat in certain, like this area would tend to be flat. You know, this kind of thing forms when the river pushes further and further. I don't know which way it's flowing, but let's say the river's flowing down this way, right? The river's going to start eating into this bank and leave a big flat zone over on this side. That's just geography, right? And I think it's a little bit odd that you would have such cliffs near the river and then not have such mountains in the rest of the map, if that makes sense. Like, in other words, I picture this kind of scenario in Norway or something, you know, where you got a river running through. Now, I know there's places like Arizona and whatnot that have had rivers running through, and I think you get a little more of this look. But yeah, so as far as doing the series goes, I'd like a little bit more mountains. So, James, if you made this, please don't take my comments too critically. But this is otherwise a nice map if you wanted a relatively flattish. I mean, it's not flat, but you know, you could do a lot of leveling here. There we go. So I don't think I would pick this map, mostly because of these cliffs and not having flat areas where we could somewhat easily, especially in the beginning, build a city towards the middle of the map. So let's hop back out of here. And again, let me know your opinions about the kind of map that we do. And then let's go to the British Isles, because, and I did read the comments about some of these. Oh, and I do have another suggestion for any of the map makers of the world. If you want me to pick your map, there's a 90% better chance if you give me an image of the map itself, right? Even if you just take a screenshot of, say like this, right? Because then I can see what your map looks like. Some people just have like a picture of, like Fidel Castro. Great. But you want me to download your map and then look at it and then go, I have to really want Fidel Castro at that point or something. You get the idea, right? Where if I just see a picture like this British Isles, it's not something I would have picked. It's Eastern Europe, right? Like workers and resources. Although we can pretend the way Britain's been going, I guess they did vote a lot of conservatives in, but hey, they might become socialists. But the reason I picked this is because we have two land areas effectively. And between the two land areas, we would have this body of water that we're looking at now, which sort of forces us to have some ships, right? Like we'd want to maybe have a goal to get a city over here if we started over here, and then we got nice mountains. Let's just take a look where our resources are. Yeah, so that would be definitely more challenging with where we would get coal and stuff. How about iron? Yeah, that's definitely sporadic. So to me, it seems like we'd be pretty low on those things, as opposed to those dark red blobs you may see in other places. I don't know if it'd be too low. And then we would have oil in various parts and pieces. But again, not too close, right? Like if we wanted to start in the middle of the map, which would be kind of right where we're looking right now, would we get to start here or here? If we started on the other side, it looks like we could get to coal. We could get to iron, but very little, which would give us some incentive to go over. Like if we started in Dublin or something. I think that's about where Dublin is, right? Somewhere there. Yeah, but we could still get to like coal, iron, and whatever if we, build over here. Let's see how big this ends up being, right? So let's go for it. So this is Ireland over here. Yeah, and this is the kind of area that I'm talking about with the flatness there. Like, I like that. Like, even though to me, that's fine, right? Now, the hills, and then we have like a nice big flat plain here with some hills. I guess over here, yeah, this is where our iron would be. Yeah, so I'm definitely liking this, and I'm liking the fact that it forces us, if we want to go over to Britain over there, that's over here, this area would be a little odd that we would have oil there relative to things are usually flat, right? So we would have oil over in this area, and then what was it? Over back here was where we had, now where was the coal? Turn around. Right there is the coal. Yeah, so I could see like if we started as a little town, like we could even be Dublin, right? And again, forgive me, I think Dublin is on this coast of Ireland, I'm pretty sure. By the way, I did the Ancestry.com. Apparently I have people from this rock right here. Isn't that the Isle of Man or somewhere close to that? So yeah, I almost know my British/Irish geography a little bit. As far as Ireland goes, I think apparently I have some descendancy from like here, like the way kind of the southern tip of Ireland, and then up here over in this area. There we go. And then other than that, it has British on my thing, which I'm not sure, I'm not sure. Obviously, Britain's kind of a big place. And other than saying like the Isle of Man, I don't know if that's the only British. Like it's all a bunch of horse crap, if you ask me. It's kind of fun to do. And they had two twins that did the Ancestry.com, and they both came up with like two significantly different results. It was like but they're identical twins, and they had these, they had these doctors like genealogists, whatever, that didn't work for Ancestry.com. And they're saying, no, that is an identical twin would have the same exact ancestry. So for them to come up with such different results just shows how much horse malarkey the whole thing is, right? Now, it doesn't mean you don't get a general sense of what you are, but, even if it says I'm British, who the heck knows if I'm not from Flanders, right? Because there's a lot of British and American British and Dutch and like Flanders and Belgium, like they're all very similar genetically. So it's, it depends on which gene they pick out to match up. So there we go. So let's keep talking about the map. I got very distracted there. Sorry about that. So we got some very challenging hilly area up here in Scotland, don't we? Which is, that's Scotland from what I understand. Now, the problem is we really have, the problem I have with this section of the map is that you would be extremely limited. I mean, there is a little area right here, but it would be very difficult to build anything up north here. Right. Yeah, let's face north. So I kind of get a little, but over here in England, we definitely could build some stuff in England. Now I was looking at this. Oh yeah, look, it's a little deceiving. Look at maps, the line's not straight. Yeah, see, this is one thing I don't like about it. Can we get shipping around here? Because if we were in, say, London, I guess this is the beginning of the Thames there, even though there's no river there. So somewhere over here would be London. If we were on this side of England, could we get over to the other side with shipping? Yeah, I guess we could if we went. And again, I don't know. Will the ships go out of the map? They might. So, so that might not be a problem down here either on the south end, right? Like the ships may just be able to go around there. We just can't build on that, because there's a whole nother square. Now, the other thing that's a little weird is that if we look at the map, big size, right? Let's see. See how we're down below that last block? That last block is usually the border, so I'm not sure if that's a problem. But yeah, I like this map. Right now, at the ones we've just looked at, this is my favorite one. Oh, it got dark. Yeah, I didn't turn the day-night cycle off. And the reason I do that is because of this. Like, now you guys can't see. So, all right, well, let's get out of this map now that it's dark. But this one, I give a 7 or 8 out of 10 if I had to rate my likelihood of doing this British Isles. And it was funny, in the comments, somebody said it shouldn't be called the British Isles. Ireland's not part of Britain. But I don't know. I've always called it the British Isles, even as an American who tends to be more Irish than British, or I don't know what the hell I am, but I'm from the British Isles, right? Like, so, I think that may be Irish oversensitivity to the British part, but it's sort of like, if you're Canadian, you're North American, right? You don't get all upset because we live on the continent of North America. Like, to me, those are the British Isles, even though the Irish people don't consider themselves British, even though genetically you can't tell the difference between the two. Type thing. Same thing, by the way, with the French and the Germans who have fought notoriously through the years. Like, they can't tell the difference genetically. I'm sure there are differences, but they're relatively minor and recent. The people of the British Isles, sorry for anyone who's Irish and doesn't like that term, are all from the same basic ancestry, believe it or not. And they went their own separate ways in the last 1,000 or 2 years, but that doesn't make them not genetically brothers and sisters, so to speak. All right, so let's try another new game. I don't want to get into politics, and I certainly hope no one's offended by my opinions. Certainly not my opinion is no more valid than yours, right? Let's turn off this day-night cycle just in case we really like this map. And I forget the name of this map even. Let's close this. Let's open this for a second and take an overall look. So again, This one I particularly liked as far as, look, we got a nice big body of water. We got the same kind of separation, right? So if we wanted to develop up here, we could put like it looks relatively flat, like here and here, at least from the distance. And I mean, I could definitely picture like shipping between these two cities would make a lot of sense. Then we could even have some cities like maybe down in here. Well, let's say, I guess it would depend on what we wanted to do. But there we go. We got coal up in the hills, iron up in the hills, and oil down below. You know, so I could definitely picture us maybe starting like right in this general vicinity somewhere. So let's shrink this back down. I'll leave that open for those of you that can see it. So now we're facing north. And oh, by the way, this is Portland, Oregon. Certainly, if there's a city in the United States that's going to go communist, this would be it, right? And I have been to Portland. It was a nice city, but this was back in like the 90s before they went crazy with their Antifa people and whatnot. Sandy, Oregon. Is there actually... Yeah, Portland's right on the bay. Why don't I see Portland on the list? Salem. Is it just because this is Portland? I mean, Mount St. Helens is to the north of Portland. Yeah, see, like it's on, like, Mount St. Helens is where we kind of slept here on our trip around the West Coast. We camped out like somewhere over on the west side of Mount St. Helens on our way, because I think this is getting up towards, yeah, see, this is Washington, so you're getting up to, like, out of Oregon, and up here somewhere would be where, now this is, yeah, I think that, well, I don't know, it just sort of cuts off. Yeah, Portland is right on this bay. I think Portland's like right over here, because it's off, what's this, the Columbia River, I think? And then it goes, I forget what this bay is called, but yeah, so I think Portland's like right in this area. So we would start as Portland. And that's sort of, you know, again, let's do the middle of the map thing. So this would be the middle of the map if we just started like right on this side of the river. Let me open this up again. Yeah, I'm really liking this Portland map. You know, I could see us shipping, you know, stuff across the bay here. You know, and I could see us, you know, when we talk about oil. Yeah, if we started right down here, there's a little bit of oil, but it would be, let's see where our ports are. Yeah, so far it's Portland, Oregon for me. You know, we got some export ports all the way over there, which is pretty challenging because we'd have to get across this river. Yeah, I'm liking the challenge of this. I don't know if we could survive. That doesn't look like it's actually connected. Right? Like they don't, I mean, I guess those are export ports. They don't have to have, yeah, customs house. I'm assuming they don't have to actually have train tracks going that way. That's just a map, you know, design point, you know. Yeah, I'm really, this is my vote so far. And again, one of the reasons I'm making this video, I don't want to make it too much longer, is to, yeah, I'm really liking the fact that we could really spread out a nice big city over here, but we would start over here where we're a little bit more limited and boxed in. So I'm suggesting this so that you guys know, if you suggest a map, what I'm looking for, right? And if you agree with this Portland as being a, I don't care if it's Portland. I mean, you could rename the name of it to anything. Like, I just don't care. If you got a South American map, that's great, you know. But I could see that we could get an export, but see, if we start like on this peninsula somewhere as part of our challenge, we've got to get a bridge built before we run out of money. And yeah, that would be kind of hard to do, you know, because we'd have to get over that hill. Now, could we go this way? Yeah, see, if we start going this way, we're way up into these hills. There's no roads on this map or anything, because I would like to make it a pretty hard start. I don't even know if we could handle it. Yeah, let's see. Oops. So we got, let's just, so to the south is Soviet. To the west is Soviet. To the north is NATO. And I'm assuming to the east will be NATO, right? I don't know if they have control over, does it always going to be two sides like that? I don't know. Like, is that just a limit Can they change that when they make a map that it would be like, say, 3-side Soviet or something like that? Yeah, so I'm really liking this, and I'm a little. It's almost making me nervous thinking about trying to start here. Could I get out? I don't know. I don't know if I could get past these hills in time. You know, if I did this, well, the one thing we could do is see, and we don't even really. Let's open this up again. We don't even really have that much. Well, we do have a little bit of coal. Yeah, I'm really but we don't have iron, and we have a little bit of oil, which is okay too, right? Because we got to have something to make money. But the fact that we don't have any iron is going to, make things more expensive because, hey, steel is, steel, and that's expensive to import. Yeah, I'm liking this. And the fact that we got a little bit of coal in the region, and yet like nothing on this side, I could definitely, where we definitely want to like import things, and maybe the challenge will be to build a big city over here. All right, there you go, guys. Like I said, I don't want to take this too long. I'm certainly open to suggestions. Probably this is Friday the 21st when I'm making this video. I'm going to just process it and get it up hopefully by this afternoon or whenever it's done. I'm not going to schedule it. It's just going to go up. And, we're going to take a look. So if you have suggestions, if nothing's overwhelming, I'm just going to pick. But right now, we're going to do this map standing in this spot as our starting point on hard mode, difficult everything. And I really honestly don't know if I can make it. I mean, I've done hard start before, and this might just be a bridge too far, as they say. Mostly because getting over this is going to be very difficult. I mean, we might even be better off like building a road down through here. But see, then the river's wider right there, which would be a more expensive bridge. But yeah, I like the challenge. I think I might fail, but I'm okay with failing on a hard start, right? That's all part of the game. So there you go. There you guys go. Let me know what you think. Thank you, by the way, for all of your support with the last map. And, eventually we'll call it quits. And I'm expecting maybe within a week we'll kind of hit the end of that map. So like I said, this is the 21st. Hopefully by like maybe the end of the month, if not sooner, we'll get started on this map. Right? And super hard start right in the middle of the map, more or less. And we'll see. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care of yourselves, and let me know if you have an opinion. Bye-bye.